Doom 143, and I'm back. Got a nice little haul for y'all, and talk about it in a little bit. First of all, let me drop some new YouTubers' names, some shout outs, some guys that you guys can sub to, and check them out. Brand new to the community. I think they're all under 100. I'll leave a description I'll leave a link in the description below. Check them up, sub them up. Rogue 121, Cables Comics, Saddle City Comics, and Comic Books 305. New to community. I've been liking what they've been putting out. Some of them have like really great collections. Some of them really nice specs, and just wanted to kind of shout those people out. Like I said, links will be in the description. All you gotta do is click it, press that bell, press subscribe, and you'll be catching some of their awesome content. Also, real quickly, that promo code I gave you guys for jetpackcomics.com still good until the 27th. So basically, if you buy anything from jetpackcomics.com, as soon as you're done, make sure you go to jetpackcomics@gmail.com. In the subject line, put the promo code launch party, and in the body of the email, just put your name and just tell them you heard about them through us or whatever, and they're gonna hook you up with a free store variant. All right. I don't have a lot of comics to show, but I think I got a lot of stories to tell, so hopefully you're into that. If not, by all means, skip all the way through, just check the comics out. But yeah, let's start doing it. Okay, so yesterday, this all of the comics I got was actually from this past Thursday. So today I'm making this video on the 21st, and so I think it was from Wednesday or Thursday. All of this basically just happened within the past 4 or 5 days, whatever it is. So yeah, so yesterday I went to my LCS to pick up my Scotty Young, I guess CGC books. Now, I originally had two of them sent. So Scotty Young came down about 4 months ago, had him sign some books, met the guy, great guy by the way. Sent it into CGC. They took, for me, it felt like forever. It was like 4 months. All right. So I got this one back, Spider-Man 611. Unbelievably, I got a 9.6. I wasn't expecting that at all. Didn't get it pressed. If I got it pressed, maybe a 9.8. I bought this kind of like almost a year ago, when I just was kind of getting back into comics. And I liked Spider-Man and I liked Deadpool, and right now, ironically, they do have a series going on. I don't know if that series is still going on, but Spider-Man, Deadpool, and so I bought this because these were my two favorite characters, and I wanted to find if there was a comic that had both of them on, and I found this one. Yeah, I just bought it on eBay like a year ago, and it actually came back 9.6. So I was actually pleasantly surprised. What I am not happy with is the fact that when I got it in, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera. I doubt it. Do you see this right there? Do you see that? Alright, so that is not the reason that it's a 9.6. That is from CGC. They did not encapsulate it correctly, and it left a kind of like a nick on my book. And you know what? I think CGC has pissed me off enough for me to say. I think I got a couple more books at CGC. Like I said, there was actually two. CGC took one back for a quality control. So that means they know they effed up on the other book, so they took it back, and that's why I don't have the other one. But yeah, I kind of tired of CGC already. They've been screwing up in so many ways in the past 6-7 months, and I've told some of my boys this, and you could take this however you want, but I've always kind of looked at CGC, the current state that they're in. It's kind of like they're just living off of that brand, the CGC brand, but they are nowhere close to the CGC that they used to be, in my personal opinion. They're not the CGC that they used to be. the top guys from CGC was actually the guys that made CBCS. So, it's kind of like if Jordan and Pippen and Rodman left the Chicago Bulls and played for the Lakers. Chicago Bulls is not going to be the same team, but people are still rooting on CGC, and it's just, I don't know, they've done enough. So that's pretty much going forward. CBCS. The only reason I have CGC is those are the only people that were coming to Hawaii. Nobody CBCS. These guys weren't coming to Hawaii, so it is what it is. But yeah, I got that in. I'm actually happy with the grade, but I am pissed off at the encapsulating. All right. The funny thing is, I was watching Vin Crew. He had a video, and the first comic book he showed actually wasn't a comic book, was this magazine here. And I immediately stopped the video, and I just told Vin Crew, I'm like, I was like, that's kind of funny because I just picked up this magazine too when he just picked it up. And he kind of left this like, oh, great minds think alike kind of a thing. But yeah, I've been wanting, not so much this magazine, but I've been wanting to pick up the magazine. But what I really wanted was the actual comic. And that thing is hardly ever shows up. So this is what the comic looks like. Eminem and the Punisher. And so there's a little preview in here of the actual comic. But the comic itself, it's about a $250 comic, and that thing is ghost, man. I can't find that thing anywhere, but I got this magazine for now. I've been wanting it. Believe it or not, this magazine actually goes for a little bit. It kind of goes right around like 40-50 bucks. So all right, so I went to this used bookstore that I have here, literally about a couple of blocks from me. And the guy who owns it just picked up some comic books, but it's more of a what do you call that, consignment kind of a deal. So this guy gave him the books, had him priced it out, and then I guess he'll make like 10% of all the sales, whatnot. I found some books that were really cool. He had a Iron Fist number 14 for Sabretooth, and I wanted it, but not at the price that he was selling it. So I was like, you know what? I'll just see what else he has. And I think I might go back because he has a Nova number 1. And myself, I'm speculating that Marvel might make a Nova movie. So I might go back for that Nova number 1. It wasn't too bad. I think it was like 20 something bucks. But what he had was 3 Adventure Comics, Silver Age comics, 63 from 1963, 64, and 65. So I picked up this one. This is when Lightning Lad rejoins the Legionnaires. So this is Adventure Comics 312. Just thought it was cool for $6. A decent, nice, decent copy of Adventure Comics 312. There are some spine issues, but you know what? From 1963. It's actually not that bad. You know what I mean? The thing survived many years. Even the back is not that bad. So I picked this one up. I picked up this Adventure Comics 322. I just thought it was kind of weird. Just kind of a cute thing. You got the Legion of Super Pets back there. You got Super Horse. You got Streaky. You got Crypto and Super Monkey. Just goofy stuff that I guess DC was doing. And it kind of, this is the kind of stuff that made me realize, like, oh, okay, now I see why people switched over to Marvel back in the days, because this kind of goofy stuff I guess wasn't really hitting with the adults. Maybe the kids like this stuff, but yeah, again, a really nice copy from the 60s, and for $6, really couldn't let it go. I'm one of those people, if I can find a nice Silver Age copy, whatever the story may be, whatever the cover is, for $6, yeah, definitely I'll pick it up. The most interesting one though that he had, and this is not it though, this is my copy, and I'm just showing you this book because of the next book. So the most interesting one was this, and so this is again, not this book, sorry. This is Doom Patrol 99. this is the first appearance of Beast Boy. So this is actually my son's copy, so I gotta put this back away before he gets mad. But this is Doom Patrol 99, first appearance of Beast Boy. I think this Beast Boy's name, I think the last name is Logan. I forget what his first name was, but I know his last name is Logan. Anyway, so this is the Beast Boy that we know now in the Teen Titans Go and Teen Titans, all of that stuff. So this is the first appearance of Teen Titans. But this book here, first appearance of Beast Boy in Teen Titans. But this book here was done in November of 1965. So this is the book that I found, the third Silver Age book that I found at my friend's place. And this book here is from September of 1964. Again, $6, could not pass it up. I think it was like, yeah, it was $6, could not pass it up. I mean, first of all, let's just look at the comic. Like, for something that's from the 60s, it's kind of crazy. Like, it looks really, really good. Could not pass up a Silver Age for $6. But this is actually the first appearance of the Legion of Super Outlaws. But what I thought was very interesting is this guy right here, the one all the way to the left. And if you look, he says, Superboy, Beast Boy, can change it to any animal in the universe. So it's kind of funny how this Beast Boy here came out before the other Beast Boy, but that's the first appearance of Beast Boy. How this is actually the first appearance of Beast Boy. But this guy right here, clearly more than a year before. So this character here had to be some way and somehow the I guess the prototype or the, you know, kind of like that test for Superboy. For Beast Boy. So yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool. Picked it up, $6. It kind of really interests me, especially because my son's a huge Teen Titans fan, and I saw that the guy's name was Beast Boy, and yeah. But also, it's also a first appearance of the Legion of Super Outlaws, so I thought that was really cool. Yeah, nice book, man. All right. Also at that comic shop, so he has a certain section in his comic shop that belongs to him. And then on the other side of that used bookstore is another comic section. And I found this Dave Stevens cover. I think I got this one for $6, man. Like, this one is freaking phenomenal. Like, I don't usually like to point out the sexiness, but you can't tell me this ass and those legs. Like, you can't tell me. That's probably one of the better asses I've seen on a comic book. But this is Vampirella Scarlet. This is actually a trade paperback, and this is a Dave Stevens cover. I've been huge right now into Dave Stevens, trying to find just stuff that I like. Definitely, this is one of them right here. Gorgeous. Inside is all black and white, just kind of these stories about Vampirella, whatnot. But I've actually saw this cover, and I actually wanted to pick one up, and I couldn't believe I found it at that shop. So yeah, and it was 50% off all trade paperbacks. So yeah, this Dave Stevens is gorgeous, man. Super, super hot. Definitely Adam Hughes before Adam Hughes was around. Check that out. Seriously, check it out. Bam. If Vampirella could twerk. All right, speaking of artists that I've been really appreciating lately, Jenny Friesen. I found this. So this is Hack and Slash #1. Unfortunately, this is the second print. This is an early Jenny Friesen piece of work. Now, there is a Wonder Woman book that came out in the Rebirth series that kind of resembles this. I think, you know, I'm not going to say what number it is, but I can see it in my head. There's like rain, and then her hair is getting in her way. But this is an early Jenny Friesen, second printing, #1, Hack and Slash, My First Maniac. And yeah, super, super awesome. Good. It just, you know, once you start liking an artist, I think one of the things you try to find their keys. And the other thing you try to find is what is their earliest work. And I know this one is super early, so it's not her first one, but I know it's early. I think her first one is like a Grimm's Fairy Tale. And I saw it and I didn't really like it. I forgot what year this one is. I want to say this is 2006, but I could be wrong. All right, you guys know me. when it comes to covers, one of the things that I definitely gravitate towards is rain covers. Um, so I had to, I had to pick this one up. This is kind of like my one of the books that I sought after. This is actually a Dynamic Forces. Even comes with a certificate and everything. It's kind of funny because if you read right here, it says as one of 12,000, which it's kind of funny because like right now we try to seek after comics that have lower than a you know 5,000, lower than 3,000, lower than 2,000. There's even comics out there that we try to find that's lower than 500. So for somebody to say like this is only one of 12,000 in the current marketplace that we're in, 12,000 seems like a pretty big run, but this is still kind of sought after. So Peter Parker Spider-Man number one, obviously from 1999, gorgeous, gorgeous rain cover. This is kind of like my thing. Is superheroes, villains in the rain. They're solo. They're by themselves. This is perfect. Like it's a solo character by themselves in the rain, and I love how the rain drips off. Like that thing looks heavy. Like it's not just your regular everyday rain. Like this looks heavy, and such a badass cover, man. Like Spider-Man has never looked so badass. But yeah, I saw this on another YouTuber, and I'm sorry if I forgot who you were, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, how did I not know about this cover? And man, this thing is hard to find, and if you find it, it's not that cheap too. Like people, I don't know what I paid for this one. I want to say I paid about 20 bucks. Great condition though. But yeah, super, super happy to have this. You guys know how I am, especially with rain covers. 17 minutes in. I told you I feel like talking today. I don't know what it is. Okay, going back to my boy Dave Stevens. I just found this. This is actually a Jetpack exclusive, and I'm just going to show it really quick. It's actually a Virgin cover. I think this is Rocketeer number one. Jetpack exclusive variant, Virgin variant. And it is a cover, I don't know if it's a cover swipe or they just used the original Dave Stevens art for the cover. But again, me being a huge Dave Stevens fan. All right, the last couple of books that I'm going to show, it's not couple, but the last set of books actually came from this weekend. So I'm just going to put one of them down and I'll just kind of go into the story real quick. So my son sleeps over at grandma's house every Friday night. Every Friday night he goes and he sleeps over at grandma's house. And so grandma gives us a call Saturday morning, says, hey, we're going to drop off Brady. So I'm like, cool, I'll meet you guys outside. On my way to picking him up on the outside of the apartment that we live at, I see this guy that I've seen at cons and all that stuff. Really great guy. And he goes, hey, did you go to the estate sale this morning? And I was like, what are you talking about? And so he tells me there's a guy that was selling all his comic books, all his toys. There's a huge estate sale. And he's all like, he goes, you know those black racks that can fit like 9 short boxes on them? And I was like, yeah. He goes, yeah. So the guy had about 6 of those. Maybe 5 or 6. What would equal out to be about 5 or 6, maybe even a little bit more. And a couple of Tupperware bins just full of comics. And check this out. All the guy wanted was 10 comics for $1. So 10 cents a piece. Now, mind you, when I met him in the lobby, it was about 10 a.m. The estate sale started at 8 o'clock. All right. So I knew I missed out. There's no way I would have caught anything already. So I basically just went just to kind of just pick up the scraps, I guess. So I found Alien Worlds number 2, Dave Stevens cover. I actually found 2 sets of Alien Worlds from 1 to 6. This is just one set here. I'm not showing the set. I'm just showing the Dave Stevens stuff. But I found 2 sets. And then the other set I actually just put on eBay and it immediately sold that night. It's like it sold quick. And so yeah, But I actually found two Dave Stevens, so number 2 Alien Worlds and number 4 Alien Worlds. Again, just digging Dave Stevens stuff. Just been really appreciating his artwork. The cool thing is, the covers are done by Dave Stevens, and the interiors are done by Dave Stevens. So that's crazy. Like, I like some of the artists, especially, and I'm going to keep on saying like Adam Hughes or J. Scott Campbell. Could you imagine a whole comic from cover to cover being done by just your favorite artist? And so it's actually, the read is easy to do because the art just kind of captures you in. But yeah, great stuff. I found these two, again, 10 cents a piece. I found this one, again, 10 cents, Superman number 32. Found this one for 10 cents. This is the first appearance of Mr. Oz. Is it Mr. Oz? Yeah, I want to say it's Mr. Oz. Yeah. First appearance of Mr. Oz, Superman number 32. Just a regular cover, but again, for 10 cents, how are you going to pass that up? There's definitely no way. Invincible Iron Man number 5. This is a variant. I just picked it up just because I thought it was a really great cover. Just really cool stuff. And yeah, for 10 cents, can't go wrong. Really good condition, a lot of these books too, man. Really great condition. And War of Gods number 1. The only reason I picked this up is I'm a huge George Perez fan, and I don't think there's anybody that can match his ability to fit. Let me see how I could do this. To fit as many superheroes on one page or one panel or one cover. Like, I don't think there's anybody that can do it better than George Perez. That's actually definitely one of the things he's known for, is that ability to just put a bunch of superheroes on it. And yeah, so that's the only reason I picked it up. Plus, like, again, 10 cents. I didn't find anything. I literally was there just picking up scraps. Okay, so Saturday, obviously I didn't do well, right? And that's mainly my fault. I didn't pay attention to Craigslist. I didn't look at it. And you know what? 2 hours passed by. There's no way I was going to catch anything. But Sunday comes around. And I'm going to put this because this is just a little teaser of exactly what happened. So Sunday comes around. My wife, myself, my son, we're all off, right? We have nothing to do. Okay? So, but we had no plans. We had zero plans. So we're like, okay, so what are we going to do today? So we decided to Google what to do in Oahu. So there are a couple of things that was going on. And one of them said comic trade night. And the comic trade night was actually at a like a gaming shop here in Hawaii. It's called Armchairs, I don't know, Assassins or Armchairs Adventurers. And it's just basically games. You know those games where they put like the mat down and they have all their action figures, and I don't know how they do it. They roll a dice or flip a card. I'm not too sure. But anyway, basically it's one of those kind of shops. They don't do any comics, but they were holding a comic trade night. Cool. So I go there. I have 2 short boxes. I didn't initially bring it in. I left it in the car because I wanted to see what was going on. And when I got there, it was very clear to me that the people that was in that trade night or who was hosting it were not comic people, or maybe they stopped collecting right around 93 or something. It was very, maybe 91. It was very clear that they just weren't comic people. But at the same time, I'm sorry if this video is taking a while, but at the same time, it made me realize like these are true comic collectors, because they would see something like Ghost Rider and Daredevil on the cover and they'd be like excited about it. They'd be like, I've never seen this cover. This looks like an interesting story. I want to dig in and read it. And it made me realize like these are the guys, like even though they're not at the level of some of these YouTubers that do comic stuff, really these are really true comic collectors, because every book is very personal to them, and it's kind of cool meeting them. But you could tell they weren't comic people. Anyway, so they laid stuff out everywhere. I'll show you guys a couple pictures of what they laid out. So just laid stuff out. The guy was literally taking it out of bag and boards and laying it out on the table, and I was kind of cringing, but I was surprised of all the conditions of the comic, like really high grade stuff without the bag and board. I was shocked. All right, so anyway, so I started digging out. I start finding little pockets of gems here and there, just these little gems here and there. And then I said, okay, so how does this trade night work? He goes, well, it's just comic for comic. He said, if you take a comic, we'll take one of your comics. And I was like, fine. So I grab my shirt boxes, I give it to them, and he only takes out 2 comics. He takes out a Sandman #1 that I spent $16 on, and he takes out a Batwoman #1 Rebirth cover A. That's it. So basically, I invested into that somewhere like maybe $17 into both of those comics, and this is what I get. So this next stack I'm about to show you is what I got. So I got New Mutants Annual #2, first appearance of Psylocke. Again, really nice condition. Yeah, it could use a press because there's spine dents, not spine ticks. There's no spine ticks, but there's definitely spine dents. There might be a tick. But no. Yeah, maybe one tick, but there's just like spine dents. I could not believe this. So like I said, I basically invested about $18 into the comics that I gave him. I got this New Mutants Annual #2 for Psylocke. I got this King Size Annual Avengers #10, first appearance of Rogue. Really nice condition. I couldn't believe it. So like I said, little pockets of gem, nothing crazy, but just like these little pockets of gems, man. And Uncanny X-Men 244, first appearance of Jubilee. Yep. Still going. Not the first print, but you know what? Almost just as good. Amazing Spider-Man 361, the second print, first appearance of Carnage. That book was attached to this. This is nothing. This is a Spider-Man annual, but it was attached to the Carnage book, so took it. Awesome. And then he had not just one Spawn #1. By the way, guarantee 9/8 if I was to grade these Spawn books. Not just one, but I found 2 Spawn books. I was kind of hoping for newsstands. He had like 4 Spawn books, and I took these 2, checked the others. None of them were newsstands, but that's okay. Still good. Those books are still fetching, maybe $15 easily, $20 if you're lucky. I found a New Mutants 86, first appearance of Cable and a cameo. Obviously, we know New Mutants 87 is his first appearance, but in the very last page, there's about 2 panels that shows Cable. So this is his cameo, first appearance, New Mutants 86, and found 2 more books. Found this Marvel Comics Presents #72, first appearance of the Weapon X program. I think this is also first appearance of Weapon X, just in general. But yeah, first appearance of Weapon X program. Again, great condition, man. I mean, look at that spine. Crispy stuff, beautiful. The bottoms, everything, just all of the comics were like that. It was surprising because, like I said, no bags, no boards, and then this last little thing right here, Wolverine #1. So yeah, altogether, it just really ended up being really awesome for me. He took 2 books, I got all of that. Super stoked. Damn, this video ended up being a lot longer than I wanted to, but hey, hopefully you enjoy it. All right, to the rest of the community, shoots and mahalos.